Sigalos in the red helmet colour, who won his opening ride. Let's look at the lineup. Sigalos on the inside, a race winner. Next to him, Raw, surprise race winner. Grid 3, the daddy of them all, Ollie Olsen, with a second place first time out, and on the outside, Chris Morton with a second place. So all four of these riders very much in touch with qualification and indeed still with this Intercontinental title. So we'll answer a few questions here in Heat 6. And it looks like Rawn has got away again. And so too is Sigalos, and Sigalos was ruthless at the corner there. He moves through. Olsen's crept round the line, crafty old line from the Great Dane. Sigalos leads it. Olsen is second. Third is Morton, attacking around the outside like he loves to do. He's got past Olsen. Can he get it past? Oh, Olsen's come back again, and Olsen's giving nothing away and takes Morton right out onto the boards. Oh, that was merciless Speedway. And, well, it'll be interesting to see what Chris Morton has to say about that, because Olsen just aimed himself at him. And Morton's getting back into contention, and Olsen is moving up on Sigalos. And Heat 6 is turning out to be a cracker. And Olsen going around the outside, and Sigalos is complacent, completely caught by surprise there. And he's now must attack Olsen around the outside, and Olsen and Sigalos are having a battle royal. Sigalos did seem to be sleeping. I don't think he'll do that again. Olsen swinging out again to where the drive is. Now swinging back on the inside and going through. Oh, the old dog has still got a few tricks to teach them. He swings back and it looks like he's going to win it. Olsen wins a Super Heat 6. Sigalos is second. Morton is third. And Ollie Olsen, the veteran who so desperately wanted to qualify, may just have done enough there. Heat 6. Well, they've all had 2 rides each, and let's just have a look at the point scores. Hans Nielsen in the lead on 6 points. Then we have Ole Olsen, Michael Lee and Dennis Sigalos in second place on 5. Kenny Carter on 3, along with a whole cluster of riders. Eric Gunderson, Lance King, Chris Morton, Peter Rawn, there's a surprise, Billy Sanders and Mitch Shearer. And these riders will be looking to qualify now. It's getting a bit desperate for them. Phil Collins on 2 points, then Jan Anderson, Pierre Branafors, Andy Graham and Larry Ross all on 1 with work to do. Heat 9, and can Hans Nielsen in the white helmet consolidate his lead in this Intercontinental final? On the inside, Chris Morton, red, 3 points, needs points. So too does Mitch Shearer. He has 3. He's in blue in grid 2. Nielsen looking good in grid 3, and Pierre Branafors on the outside, very much the outsider of the meeting and indeed of heat number 9. And again, it's Nielsen, and from the inside, Morton, and Morton it is who has the run up to the corner. Morton leads it. Second place is Shearer. Nielsen going past Shearer into second place, and Branafors gets past Shearer as well. So now Nielsen is headed by Chris Morton, who took advantage of the inside grid. And now they're absolutely shoulder to shoulder as Nielsen comes through on the inside, and Morton gets another nudge up there. He had one from Ollie Olsen last time out, and he comes battling back on the inside of Nielsen. This is good Speedway. Branafors holding out Shearer for third place, and that again is an eyebrow raise. This is a battle up front. Nielsen, and Hans Nielsen does look in a mean mood. Into the last lap, Nielsen still holding on. Morton is second. Shearer has moved through on his teammate Branafors, and Branafors has put past him and a far picture. This is the lead. It's Nielsen, and can Morton just get up on the inside now? Nielsen's aware of him. He wins it. Second place Morton. Third was Branafors. Nielsen, again, as we thought, anchoring that overall lead. A win for him takes him on to 9 points. It's going to take a good man to stop him. Heat 11, you see there's lots of possibilities here. Michael Lee on the inside in red. Jan Anderson surprisingly back on 1 point, who really must start piling up the points if he is to maintain hopes of a world final place. Lance King, the young man only 19, could be the youngest ever world champion if he gets through. He's in white and still in touch with a world final place. And on the outside, Dennis Sigalos, lean figure from Ipswich, who many feel could follow Bruce Pennell's tyre prints to become world champion. And so we settle down for Heat 11. Lee and Sigalos to watch for. King in grid 3 is nobody's fool, and Anderson needs points in grid 2. Oh, Michael Lee is so impatient. Away this time, and it's Lee, and from the outside it is Sigalos, and King got squeezed in the sandwich, and it's a rare battle up front, and Lee breaks clear. King comes through into third place. Sigalos is second, and Anderson at the back, and Michael Lee raises England's hopes again. Really does look like he's back approaching his best form. Sigalos is second, Lance King, his countryman, is in third place, and King is impressive, certainly not overawed. The battle, the main three, Michael Lee up front. This will be enough to take him through, surely, to the world final if he stays in touch with the checkered flag. Sigalos is in second place, Lance King is third, holding on in there. Anderson's a while at the back, and that surely really must mean that Sweden's last hope in the World Championship is going by the boards. Michael Lee can still be the man to challenge for this Intercontinental crown, and it is good to see Michael back really in the big time and looking most assured as he wins heat 11. Second place Sigalos, third King. And so with 3 rides complete each in the Sunday Mirror Intercontinental final, here is the leaderboard. Leading unbeaten on 9 points, Hans Nielsen from Denmark. Breathing down his neck, Ole Olsen, the veteran of the party, on 8 points, and Michael Lee from England on 8 similarly. On 7 points, American Dennis Sigalos. Eric Gundersen from Denmark on 6, and 2 Englishmen, Kenny Carter and Chris Morton, on 5 each. Remember, there's 11 to go through, so all these positionings so vital. On 4 points apiece, Phil Collins, Lance King and Billy Sanders, and on 3 apiece, jointly in 11th place, Peter Rawn from Denmark and Mitch Shearer from New Zealand. Heat 13 of this compelling Intercontinental final. And we have another opportunity to have a look at the overall leader, and that is Hans Nielsen, who will be in yellow and black on the outside grid here in Heat 13. Looking across at his opponents, Eric Gundersen has really looked sharp after a disastrous opening ride with no score. Phil Collins battling for points there. Phil could do with something from this one, although it's a tough one for him. He has 4. Dennis Sigalos has dropped a couple of points. He's in grid 3 in white, and Nielsen, who really hasn't looked in much trouble after the first corner of his earlier 3 rides, is on the outside here. Heat 13, Gundersen, Collins, Sigalos, Nielsen, that's the way they line up. And away this time, and up to the corner, it's the inside that's broken quickly with Gundersen, and sweeping across comes Nielsen. Nielsen around the outside of everybody there. Sigalos is just holding him out there as they ducked and dived. And here comes Nielsen again around the outside of Dennis Sigalos. In third place, it is Phil Collins, and there's not much to choose between all 4 as they hit the first corner of lap 2, and Sigalos in terrible trouble, and he's taken Nielsen right out there. And Nielsen has gone down, but it looked as though Sigalos picked up some drive and took out Nielsen. Nielsen is down, looking in some trouble, and well, that is a dramatic event here in Heat 13, and it will be interesting to see what the referee makes of that one. He is a Danish referee, remember, and Nielsen looks to be okay, although unhappy. We'll look at the replay. Nielsen's on his feet. Sigalos goes across. Let's watch. And it looks, here you can see Sigalos losing his helmet colour. Now, what does he do? Because it looked to us as though he missed the corner and really took Nielsen straight out into the fence. It happened around about here. There he goes. Now, he's as well to maintain control. Comes down a bit awkwardly, takes Nielsen right out there, and really Dennis Sigalos must be adjudged the guilty man there. Nielsen's gone down, but Sigalos looked to be the cause of all the trouble.
I can't really understand the guy, but I think I'm back in. You know, I should be back in. It wasn't my fault. I just hooked up traction and you know, lifted, and Hans went into the fence, and I'm sure Hans accepts that. It happens at racing all the time.
Were you excluded at first?
Yes, I was, and it's ridiculous. I shouldn't be.
So the referee's now said you can go back in?
Well, I think so. I can't really understand him. I think so. The light's still on.
Well, the word we have, and the referee's right next to us, is that Sigalos is definitely excluded. No way the referee will change his mind, and the white exclusion light, as you can see, stays on. Well, there is Dennis Sigalos. The referee, Jürgen Deutsch, will not change his mind, and Dennis really now says he's going to go out anyway. He is wasting everybody's time. He's being very, very silly because the referee will not change his mind. The tapes are up, and Sigalos there is gesturing, and this really is just a little ludicrous, and this is so unfortunate. Dennis, normally the most imperturbable character, clearly emoting there and upset about that decision. Well, those pictures tell their own story, and he certainly wasn't wishing him a happy birthday. Well, after all the theatricals, we're ready for the restart of Heat 13. 3 only on the inside, Eric Gundersen. Next to him, Phil Collins, and on the outside, and Hans Nielsen is only just on the outside grid there. He has moved across. It looks like he's in grid 3, and that, strictly according to the book, isn't allowed. And the referee's allowed it to go. It's Gundersen who gets away. Nielsen has lost his helmet colours in second place, and they are picking up some drive around those first 2 corners. Gundersen leads it. Nielsen second. Third is Collins. And the track does look like it's just a trifle bit unpredictable. Well, Nielsen hasn't been beaten, and here is Gundersen, his fellow countryman, leading. Nielsen closing on him. Still, there is, 15 lengths between the pair of them as they move into lap 2. Nielsen almost lost it there as well, and that was just the patch where Sigalos went. And that really is interesting to watch, because it does seem to be a grippy patch there that's causing all kinds of problems. Into the last lap. Gundersen in front, looking good. Then Nielsen, who moved inside that patch there, noticeably there. They avoided the sticky patch. But that's Nielsen's first defeat of the afternoon. Gundersen wins it. Nielsen is second. It has opened up the title chase. Collins was third. But a Heat 13 that lived up to that 13 tag for being full of incident. Well, there is the patch there, which seems to be causing all the trouble. You can see the track staff have moved across onto it very swiftly. Just the crop sprayer there. And it may well be that the referee has said, have a look at that patch. And the word from the referee is that Dennis Sigalos' little outburst has cost him £50 in fines.
Dennis, can I tell you, you've been fined £50 by the referee?
That's fair, you know. I was expecting that anyways, you know. I don't know what to say about it, but I'll have to pay it. It's really unfair. I can't even believe it's happened, you know. It's so unfair. It's just put me out of a chance of winning the meeting or even coming second or third, you know. And so thanks to him, it's over. I qualified probably now, but...
You got 7 points, actually.
Yeah, I got 7 points. I'm happy about that, but I'm very, very unhappy about what just happened. It's unreal.
It was a bit of a crazy thing to go and try and race, though, when you have been excluded.
Yeah, well, you know, you get so fumed up and steamed up inside, and we're here to race, you know, not for these guys to make lousy decisions like that and put someone out that they shouldn't be, or I feel I shouldn't be. I know a lot of people here think the same thing.
Heat number 14. And again, should be a bundle of laughs. We've got Ollie Olsen on now 8 points, and he's a joint leader with everybody dropping points all over the place in dramatic circumstances. Billy Sanders in blue has 4 points. We're needing points here to get into the world final. In grid 3, Michael Lee has 8 points. He's a joint leader now. And on the outside, Pierre Branafors with 2 points has not been overawed in the company. There is Sanders in the blue helmet. Sanders has not looked that happy. We've seen him looking a lot more comfortable. So it's Lee and Olsen co-leaders now, with Nielsen having dropped a point. So we have everything still to race for here at White City, and what is turning out to be a real fascinating Intercontinental final. Great parity at the top and a ding-dong battle for the qualification places further down the scoring order. Heat 14. Oh, Lee didn't make the start at all. Olsen did, but Lee has broken clear of the pack as Olsen hits the corner in front, and Olsen swings way out there and takes everybody out, manages to maintain contact. Lee is now second. In third place it is Sanders, and Branafors go down together. And it looked as though the young Swede might have nudged Sanders. The referee has stopped it. We look down, the yellow light comes on. It was Branafors to blame. And you just at the back there, you can see Sanders in the blue helmet colour, and Branafors comes roaring out of the afternoon air straight into him there. And well, you will never have a clear example of a rider being knocked off as clean as a whistle as Billy Sanders there. And Sanders, you can see his left hand was dragging on the shell. He still had a long way to go, and he might have done some damage there. So the rerun of Heat 14, still everything to be answered here. Ollie Olsen in the inside, Billy Sanders in blue, Michael Lee in white, 2 co-leaders. Olsen and Lee, and Michael Lee, we recall, missed the break completely at the first time of asking, so he has a second opportunity coming in here. Heat 14, Olsen has 8, Sanders has 4, he needs points, and Lee has 8 as well. They're all tight in there on the inside. It's going to be the charge of the heavy brigade up to the first corner. Away they go this time, and Sanders is in the middle of the sandwich as Olsen breaks clear. Sanders wings in on the inside line. Olsen is second, Lee is in third place and bursting down the inside, and Olsen gets squeezed out in the rush. Sanders leads it. Lee is now second, Olsen is third, and this one will upset the apple cart if it stays in this order. Really was an interesting first lap with them changing positions. Olsen, who led, went from first to last. You don't often see that kind of passing at this level in Speedway. And Lee swinging to the outside of Billy Sanders. Olsen closing on him. There's only about 10 minutes between all three here as they move into lap 3. Sanders looking a good bit more composed. The Australian champion who was knocked off, remember, first time in Heat 14. Now leading the co-leaders of this Intercontinental final. Still Lee in second place. Olsen knows he's done enough to qualify. Michael Lee finding some unexpected drive there, but it looks like Billy Sanders will hold on, even though he almost missed that corner. Must just consolidate over the line. 3 points for Sanders, 2 for Lee, 1 for Olsen. Heat 16 features 2 Englishmen, fancied Englishmen indeed, who need points to make sure of a world final place. We've got Jan Anderson on the inside, who's been desperately disappointing, only 1 point. Next to him, Chris Morton on the blue helmet colour grid 2 has 5 points, and Kenny Carter, with a win and a second to the last, has 5 as well. He's in white in grid 3, and Andy Graham, who has been a disappointment in yellow and black, has 2 points. It's still a feasibility that Andy, with 2 late race wins, could sneak in, but he's got an awful lot to do. So here we go for Heat 16. 3 Englishmen, 1 Swede. And away they go, and it looks like Carter and Anderson. Anderson gets away. Carter going around the outside of him, and no, Morton was in awful trouble there, and by some miracle managed to stay in contact with the bike, but he lost an awful lot of ground, and Morton coming tearing back now. It is Carter in front, second place Anderson, third is Graham, and Chris Morton, the reigning British champion, as Graham goes out on the boards, and they are missing that first corner in a really dramatic way. So now, let's read them again. Carter in front. Anderson now having Morton buzzing on his back wheel, and Andy Graham at the back. Well, that's where all the action is in the minor positions. Anderson, you can see in second place, Morton on his back wheel, and Graham at the back, and they're into the last lap. Carter a long way in front. Morton's striving to try and find some extra drive and line to get around the outside of Anderson. This is the Swede's best race of the afternoon. Might have come too late for him. And it's going to be Carter, and right on the line. Anderson just about holding on there, so Kenny Carter can relax a bit now. Takes him on to 8 points, which should be enough. They've all had 4 rides each, just 1 to go, and this is the situation at the Intercontinental final. The leader on 11 points, Hans Nielsen. Then we have Michael Lee on 10. 2 riders on 9, Eric Gundersen and the veteran Ollie Olsen. Kenny Carter on 8, 3 on 7, Lance King, Billy Sanders and Dennis Sigalos. Chris Morton on 6, Phil Collins and Mitch Shearer on 5, and that at the moment is the cut. Those are the 11 qualifiers at this stage. But breathing down their necks, Peter Rawn on 4, and Jan Anderson still not completely out of contention on 3, although really it looks as though the hopes of Pierre Brannefors, Andy Graham and Larry Ross are now over. So there is the lineup. Nielsen on the inside, 11, and if he wins this race, he cannot be caught, he will be the champion. Next to him, Michael Lee. If Michael wins and Hans is in second place, we should have a run-off for the championship. Grid 3, Andy Graham, sadly out of contention for a world final place, 2 points only. But keep an eye on Peter Rawn on the outside in yellow and black. He has 4 points, so still might just sneak in to the world final if he causes a major upset here and can head both Nielsen and Lee. So Rawn with everything still to race for, although he really is in with the big guns here. Nielsen has that inside grid here in Heat 17. Lee is next to him. Then we have Rawn. and Graham on the outside. Away they go, and it is Nielsen who breaks. Nielsen is away, and Lee is in second place, sweeping around the outside is Ben, and Lee has gone from second to last here. Still Nielsen in front, the rare battle up front for second place, with Nielsen just looking back over his shoulder. Michael Lee's a mile behind, and Michael Lee moving in to third place. Lee has come through up into second place, and Rawn is in there battling as well, but it's Nielsen all the way. Nielsen is doing wheelies. He's going to be the champion, and who could deny that he really has been the most impressive rider in this Intercontinental final. Hans Nielsen around the last two corners, and Denmark take the Intercontinental crown on one wheel. Lee is second, in third place Rawn, and the crowd salute Hans Nielsen, who has looked throughout the quality rider. He is the champion, and we can but wonder if this is a foretaste of the world final, because it is going to take an exceptional rider to stop this man, Hans Nielsen, becoming Denmark's second world champion. And so the result of the Sunday Mirror Intercontinental final: first, Hans Nielsen with 14 points. Michael Lee, nice to see him back in the lofty heights with 12 points. And in third place, recovering from a disastrous start, Eric Gundersen on 11.
Morton, Peter.